I don't know if he'd be on a Mount Rushmore because of body of work. There are other child actors who, stayed just as active, if not more active. But to me, he gets an honorable mention just because, like, the things on his filmography in the 90s, they hit hard. Yeah, man, they get the win and no one cares. And also, the Blue Brothers look like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh yeah, dude. That they cloned that guy, I think. You might be right.
I'm gonna let you guys talk about it. And she just flips off. I don't even think that was a stunt double, right?
Happened in the 90s.
In the 90s, as a child actor, Jason Weaver had a nice 3-4 year run at the very least, man. At least. You could probably say the run was longer than that. But Jason Weaver, who played Marcus in Smart Guy, the older brother, he was, yeah, we discussed, he was the singing part in Lion King. He was Michael Jackson in the miniseries, the television miniseries. Thea, that was Brandy's first acting gig, but it was a short-lived black sitcom on ABC, and I think it aired like after Roseanne. But even in adulthood, man, he was in Drumline, he was in the movie ATL, and he's a great singer.
Damn, I mean, just having the bona fides of saying that you were the singing voice for Simba, legendary right there. But yeah, I mean, getting a lot of work, but the Simba thing, that has to be the credit of all credits, honestly.
Yeah, dude. And shout out to his mom. She had the foresight of seeing the value in getting a revenue share, or what was it, like a percentage or in royalties, as opposed to just getting a huge lump sum in $1 million.
Smart lady. See, I like that. That's the kind of Hollywood parent that you want. Just somebody that's kind of like savvy and not, ooh, what can I get? What can I get?
Yeah, it helps that his mom was in the industry. She was a member of a Chicago-based female group called Kitty and the Haywoods, and she provided backup vocals for Aretha Franklin. So, like, Jason Weaver was exposed to this industry stuff at a young age.
No wonder he could sing so well, though. His mom was a backup singer for Aretha Franklin. That's got to come with some talent level, too. That's crazy. But shout out to her for not only obviously being talented, but clearly through her experience was like, you're not going to do that to my kid. We'll take a point on the back end or whatever the terminology is. And I wonder how much money that yielded them because of that. That's crazy.
Seems to be doing all right, man. And kept his nose clean this whole time, which says a lot, being a 90s child actor. And I don't know if you remember the Chingy song, One Call Away.
I mean, I'm a Chingy fan, Steve. I don't remember One Call Away, though.
But he did the hook on that. But I don't know if he'd be on a Mount Rushmore because of body of work. There are other child actors who, stayed just as active, if not more active. But to me, he gets an honorable mention just because, like, the things on his filmography in the 90s, they hit hard.
Hell yeah, dude. If you, any child, like 99% of child actors, if you were in Hollywood and could walk around Hollywood in the 90s going, yeah, I was the singing voice of Simba, and be like throw like a quick verse, you're swimming in everything that you want, which is not good stuff. Look at Corey Feldman. Look at all the other people that are still kind of around that aren't doing so well. So I think you gotta get some kind of like award for being normal, not giving into all that shit.
It says a lot.
That's awesome.
This is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your 5 heartbeats and your 4 non-blondes, because if it's cool, then we can do a little something, something. Do a little something, something. If it's cool, so we can do a little something, something.
Ladies love Cool Steve.
I wanna rock with you, baby. Today, my friend, we're talking all things April 2nd in the 90s. Yo, brother, smart. Starting off in 1990, NCAA Men's Basketball Championship is held, and UNLV beats Duke 103-73, a record largest margin of victory in a championship game.
The Running Rebels beat the Blue Devils, Steve?
Yeah, if you're a Duke-ator, you'd love this.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty unprecedented, obviously. Who was the coach for Duke?
Coach K.
Coach K. He didn't do that. This didn't happen a lot.
Yeah, well, they returned the following year, and that's when they kind of started their dynasty.
They beat them by 30 points.
By 30.
That's pretty tough in a championship game. That's taking a large dump on the biggest stage possible, but they came back. Coach K figured it out.
Well, UNLV, it starred Larry Johnson, Grandmama, and Stacey Augmon. I don't know if you remember him, the Plastic Man, they called him.
Did he play for the Pistons?
He did play for the Pistons.
Yeah, I remember that name for sure. And that's crazy. But Larry, Grandmama, I mean, of course he's going to dominate, Steve.
And not to mention Greg Anthony, who would have a pretty long career.
Nick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with the Knicks.
Yeah, I got to get my basketball knowledge back up. This is like their only championship, right? I don't think UNLV ever did this again at all.
It's their only championship they're ever going to have, Matt.
Yeah.
And Jerry Tarkanian, shout out to him. He was known for always biting his towel, in crunch time, old guy. And he's from Ohio.
Got a great last. He sounds like an evil villain, his last name. Love that. UNLV, Steve, just a quick shout out. The graduation, the alma mater of Guy Fieri. So another person who has ties to Ohio. So just giving you that knowledge.
Go Ohio. And in that following year, 1991, Lenny Kravitz would release Mama Said. So many years I cry.
That song, Steve. I mean, this whole album, you can listen to it back to front. There's a couple songs that I'm not a huge fan of, but dude, Lenny Kravitz, I said it before we started recording, this guy's one of the coolest people ever. And I think he might be a vampire or something because he's not aging. He's not aging at all.
Yeah,
Steve.
it's really not fair. And you had a child with, to me, one of the hottest like pop cultural icons of the 80s. And you created a gorgeous woman who's going to continue that beautiful light-skinned tradition.
Talented, Steve. It just comes out. His progeny is talented. Beautiful. We could all use a little Lenny in our DNA, but we're not that lucky. But this guy, whatever contract he signed with whatever demon or angel or whatever, it's working. He's so cool, his dick exploded out of his pants mid-concert one time, and he didn't even stop a beat, Steve. He didn't even flinch. I'd be like, oh, God. Not Lenny.
Because, baby, it ain't over till it's over.
My mama said... Dude, the guy just is a badass. So that's what I'm going to say. My exclamation point, Lenny, keep doing what you're doing, dude, because it's working.
In 1993, The Adventures of Huck Finn premieres. In Missouri during the 1840s, young Huck Finn, fearful of his drunkard father and yearning for adventure, leaves his foster family and joins with runaway slave Jim in a voyage down the Mississippi River towards slavery-free states. Directed by Stephen Summers, starring Elijah Wood, Courtney B. Vance, Robbie Coltrane, and Jason Robards.
And the coach from Major League.
Lou Brown.
Vaughn! That's that runaway slave, Vaughn. This is a wild Disney movie. It's a Disney movie. We all had to read some version of this or watch some version of this in school. I actually thought when I saw this on the list that this was the JTT version, Tom and Huck, I think.
With Brad, Brad Renfro.
Exactly. Not this. This is Elijah Wood, Frodo Baggins. He's great in it, as always. Here's another guy who kind of stayed through in complete astronomical success, completely normal from all appearances, Steve. So shout out to Elijah Wood.
For sure, for sure.
You know, I've never really been into this story as a whole. I think because we had to watch, like, for school, so I was like, nah, I don't want to watch this. Intense, man. Elijah Wood gets freaking shot. I mean, they almost lynch Jim.
Yeah,
He makes it out because he gets freed. But I was like, they shot a kid in this movie.
Yeah, one kid dies.
I mean, that's freaking crazy.
I remember seeing this in the theater. Me, my grandmother, her friend, and her son, we all went to Toronto for Easter break. And they broke off. My grandma and her friend, they did their thing. And me and Brandon, shout out to Brandon. I'm sure you're not watching. Maybe you are, Brandon. But
Brandon,
shout out to you.
Steve.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We watched this in the theater. I remember like actually enjoying it. But as an adult, I watched this like, man, this is probably the most upbeat movie related to slavery. You know, you throw some Disney tunes in the background, like,
You know, you always wonder because at one point when you read this book, it ain't just Jim, it ain't runaway slave Jim.
I was just
You know what
gonna
I'm
say.
saying? So
Yeah.
you wonder how they're going to do that, and they obviously softened it in this because I didn't hear an N-bomb blasted off, which, you know, it's a kid.
Very unrealistic.
It's a Disney movie, so even
Yeah.
if Walt Disney, the man, was probably saying that all the time, this
Yeah.
movie did not have it in it, and thank God for that. But, you know, they straight up shoot a kid, Steve. They perform a lynching all the way to the end. It's about to happen, so we get to see that as a kid. So they didn't soften some of it, but, you know, it has a happy ending, which I don't think it really happened too much in the time that we're talking about in the movie. But here, everybody gets to have a happy ending, Steve.
And shout out to Ron Perlman and Anne Heche. She's a name that's been popping up lately for us. Booger's in it from Revenge of the Nerds. I don't know if you caught that.
I didn't even catch that, which is hilarious. That's fun. I caught the coach from Major League, but not Booger, Steve. So something's off.
And blink and you miss it, Danny Tamborelli's in this. Little
Pete. I forgot to say Little Pizza. He's like, go get him, Huck!
Yeah. But I enjoyed it, man. Shout out to Elijah Wood. Also in 1993, Cop and a Half premieres. After witnessing a murder, a young boy named Devin refuses to testify unless it is given the chance to be a policeman. Directed by Henry Winkler, starring Burt Reynolds, Ray Sharkey, Ruby Dee, and Norman D. Golden II.
Gold, Steve. There is a tier of stupid plot movies that we got in the 90s that we're never going to get again. This, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Three Ninjas, they're not going to make them anymore. And in this, it works. It's great. And shout out to seeing Burt Reynolds, like, comedy driven. You know, it's not him in like Boogie Nights or Smokey and the Bandit. He's just hating on a kid, but man, I was laughing, Steve.
Yeah, and par for the course for Burt Reynolds. He was a dick on the set. He was like berating Henry Wing. Like, how you gonna like get at the Fonz, man? He was just like berating him in front of the cast and crew. Like, hey, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Hey, kid, this guy's an idiot. Okay. Yeah, and like shout out to Henry Winkler because he directed this. That's badass. Also, that's just a cool credit. And I've loved this since I was a kid. My wife loved this since she was a kid. It's one of the most 90s movies that you can find. Blank Check comes to mind in this same level of ridiculousness. But this is what I love, man. A kid who's getting over on adults, who's better at being a detective than adults. And I love this because it's who would have thought of this? This kid, instead of like the criminal thing where it's like, I'm going to talk and tell you what you want so I don't get in trouble. He's got info on a murder that he didn't commit. And what's his thing? I'm not going to tell you what you want unless I get to be a cop, Steve.
Which is crazy.
And they go with it.
And did you catch Sam from Clarissa?
Yeah.
He's one of the bullies. Like, I'm not buying that, but go ahead.
But also the bullies in this it's a fat dude who I'm pretty sure was somebody else. And Sam from Clarissa Explains It All. And they're carrying around a bat that they always have, like the dude from Walking Dead. And at one point they thrash a car just to fuck with the little kid.
This little kid, this defenseless little kid who's like being raised by his grandmother, which I could relate to. Like, dang, like the bullying thing, I didn't understand. And there's a scene where they're basically playing dueling swords. Burt Reynolds
Yo,
and Norman D. Golden, they're using the toilet at the same time. Burt Reynolds looks at him like, oh, he got some on his shoe or something like that. It's
bro,
like,
the kid is looking at the dick. He's
It's-
like staring at it. I was like, this is insane, dude. Bert, he could give a fuck. He pisses on the kid, basically.
yeah,
Watch out.
yeah, watch
Yeah.
out for my dong.
What a real man looks like, kid. Okay? Me and Sally Field. Look her up.
Hey, Fonzie, we're gonna need another angle. Fonzie actually fought for him. Everybody else behind this movie were like, nah, let's find somebody else. But the guy that he was giving the most crap to wanted him on this movie, man.
That shows you how cool the Fonz is, too, because he knew when he got to the editing room, it was going to be solid gold. And it is. I mean, at one point, Reynolds is blowing cigar smoke in this kid's face in a cop car. I mean, it's just full of shit that should not be in a movie. But when you get it in there, it's Reynolds. It's this kid throwing zingers at everybody. This kid has balls of steel, Steve. The only thing wrong with this movie is the dumbass villain, who I hate.
Ray Sharkey.
I hate that guy. I hate the singing. I'm an Elvis guy. Hey, I don't like it. I don't like his little crew he has. But other than that, man, this movie is amazing, and I love it. And it deserves to have more credit to its name. And on a 90s related show, we have to, because it's as 90s as it gets.
And shout out to the Joey Lawrence song at the closing credits.
I didn't even catch that. Hey, can I ask this, Steve? You might not even know. Where's Devin at? Where's the kid at? Is he normal? Is he alive?
He's alive and he's not acting anymore because he was not good, honestly.
No, he wasn't. But he fit what you needed in this movie. He was a good utility player. He got you the zingers you wanted. And just like the little black kid in Angels in the Outfield, he delivered the cute. You need the cute, Steve, to go against Burt Reynolds.
And they found Mr. Bobo. But also in 1993, The Crush premieres. A journalist becomes the unwanted center of attention for a 14-year-old girl who proceeds to sabotage his life after he refuses her sexual advances. Directed by Alan Shapiro, starring Carrie Ilves, Alicia Silverstone, Jennifer Rubin, and Kurtwood Smith. Dumbass.
In New York, Alicia Silverstone. This was her first movie, Steve. This helped launch her career. A movie about a underage girl trying to seduce a man. I don't know why. Let's fast forward to now. All these guys are getting in trouble for underage chicks. You wonder why, when the early 90s was filled with these movies where just these tawdry Lolita type chicks are trying to fuck married men or older men. It's a whole genre of movies, Steve, that I really enjoyed as a younger man, as a teenager. But as an older guy, it's problematic. I don't like this.
Maybe Epstein watched these movies. Maybe
I think he wrote. I think he was a producer in Hollywood for a while, because this movie, at one point, Silverstone is just sucking Elway's fingers, kissing him, all sexual. I was like, Jesus Christ! Was there just a sick director? Yeah, okay, just a little more, off camera. It's very weird, Steve.
Did you know she had to emancipate herself so she can do this movie?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Well, I think it was to overpass child labor laws. That's something, I guess.
Well, her character is naked in this movie, so I think they had a body double for that shit. But she's doing sexual shit with Robin Hood Men in Tights, dude. I mean, and shout out to Carrie Elwes. I love that guy. He's great. I just don't like these kind of movies. This is weird.
Yeah, it kind of makes you. Yeah,
it just makes me feel gross, dude. I mean, it is kind of like when it gets to the point where she's like stalking him and showing up at places and getting like crazy, then you forget she's an underage chick and it's just kind of like one of those type movies. But I don't know, man. The
Man,
early 90s, you guys had some crazy fucking producing going on here where there's a full genre of underage tale movies. Thankfully, we're not going to have to watch this kind of shit anymore, Steve.
now disclaimer: Alicia Silverstone is older than me and Matt, so like I can say I've always had a crush on Alicia Silverstone.
Oh,
All right,
absolutely, Steve.
put that out there.
Since the Aerosmith video, whenever that was, I mean, since
Aerosmith.
then. And had I known about this movie when I was a teenager, I'd have a different opinion of it, just like I do of Poison Ivy 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, I don't know, man. Strange.
Also in 1993, Jack the Bear premieres, and there was no jacking of bears, Matt. I didn't understand. Well, I was about to watch it. I know it's not on the list, but like it was interesting. I put it on the list initially. It was like, man, they're jacking bears. It's like, no, it's just Danny DeVito and his son who's named Jack. That would be interesting, though, wouldn't it?
Is
Like,
he a bear, like a big gay guy that likes getting some sex,
that
or
likes getting jacked?
yeah,
Like, no, it's not even that.
Jack the Bear?
Bear,
Hell
yeah, dude. That's like some Fear Factor stuff. I'd watch that. Who can jack the bear to full completion? But no, man. Unfortunately, no. And then on that same day in '93, Good Advice premieres on CBS. I got some good advice, CBS. Shut the fuck up. But then in 1995, WWF is airing WrestleMania 11 at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, brother.
This is it, Steve. This is what you've been waiting for. Finally, Lawrence Taylor's wrestling. Thank God.
Yes, with the one earring. Yes.
Don't
Dang.
smoke crack. Wrestle instead while you smoke crack. Through the videos I was watching about this from various sources online, a lot of people don't like this WrestleMania, Steve.
It's considered one of the worst, if not the worst.
I got to agree on two notes. The main event, which is a celebrity match, which never is good, and the massive amount of technical difficulties at the beginning of this with a blind woman singing, which seems like kind of on purpose, like you're playing a prank on her, and then Nick Turturro, who we got from NYPD or New York, whatever, one of the Turturro brothers. You got this guy in here. Audio ain't working for half this guy's interviews, Steve.
They had to reintroduce Jenny McCarthy. Like, we didn't see her fine ass the first time. Yeah, man. Production wise, it wasn't great, but it's also perspective, man, because some people look at it as the WrestleMania that saved WWF. They were on a downswing, and it's something like this. Lawrence Taylor, I remember this being a way to draw in the casuals, then even the people who aren't casuals. You know about Lawrence Taylor. Bring in the sports fans who don't watch wrestling. And,
The NFL, like the fans of NFL, yeah, that's a huge audience that I feel like there's a huge overlap anyway with wrestling fans. But yeah, pulling in those millions definitely makes sense. It just sucks as a wrestling fan when you're like, oh, a guy who can't wrestle in the main event. Great. Like, at least Lawrence Taylor's a mutant athlete, not Jay Leno or somebody like that, you know?
They do the introductions of the celebrities present. We got Pam Anderson. We got Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Jenny McCarthy, Nick Turturro, and Salt and Pepper.
Dude, and that lineup, Steve, having Jenny McCarthy and Pam Anderson in the same building in 95, Steve, how many boners were being popped in that audience? It all, like, from pay-per-view, because that's my dream. They made my dream happen. So for that, Vince, thank you, because it's glorious, Steve. They both look fantastic.
And then you throw in Salt and Pepper on top of all of that.
They needed to show Salt and Pepper more, because
They did.
they really only showed him like near the end when Bam Bam makes a move to what I can only assume is attack them, and I would jump out of the crowd and attack him. JTT, sorry, man. Like, those titties, I'm not paying any attention to you. You're just like smart guy.
Yeah. And I remember my grandma getting this pay-per-view for us. For some reason, I thought Salt and Pepper did the national anthem, but here we are. It's not Salt and Pepper. It's Kathy Huey from the Special Olympics. And she does her rendition of America the Beautiful. And I will say, Kathy Huey, she did that.
She belted that shit,
She,
Steve.
she did.
She just happens to be blind, which I think is actually kind of like a cheat code if you're doing that kind of performance. Because shit, you might be where like, have a million people around you or one.
Yeah.
But she killed it. But like I said, technical difficulties abound. Like the first part of it, you couldn't even hear what she was saying. I was like, damn, Kathy. But shout out to Kathy getting it.
Yeah, and we got Jerry Lawler and Vince on the mic. And in no time, we're introduced to the first match: the Allied Powers, Lex Luger and British Bulldog, versus the Blue Brothers, Jacob and Eli Blue, with Uncle Zebekiah, aka Dutch Mantel.
That's that guy. That guy's on podcasts all the time now, just shit talking wrestling. That's funny. This is not a good match, Steve. I didn't care for it.
Dude, what a fall from grace. Lex Luger was supposed to be the heir to the throne of Hulk Hogan. He was supposed to be the one getting the torch passed to. And I think he was doing main events in the previous WrestleMania. And here we are. You're in the opening match. And not only that, a tag team opening match.
Put two guys in a tag team that can't rock a mic, Steve. Great. British Bulldog and Lex Luger. What are they going to do? Like if you get them in a promo, just make muscles? Because that's all they got. They don't got a guy. They don't got a manager or a hot chick, which I think would work for two buff dudes. But I like the song, Steve. It's like a mix.
Like that?
I like that song, Steve. It shreds. I'm into it.
Basic ass intro. And dude, if this is the Allied Powers, give me the Axis of Evil tag team. Well, this is, I'll take whoever it is. I'll take make it Yokozuna and Heidenreich. I don't know, man.
It's not good.
The
They
Blue
don't even know. I don't remember the Blue Twins, Steve, but I like that they're so forgettable. Nobody even knows which is which. They're just like, one of them's in there.
Well, this is one of those pre-Attitude Era transformations, man, because the Blue Brothers would eventually become DOA.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Eight
Well, they are big ass dudes, but this is dumb as shit. I like it's the Allied Powers versus the redneck racist guy. It's like, what?
Yeah, or is that what they're supposed to be? I don't know if they were that.
That's what I was like. If there's an evil there, they're just Southern guys who are just racist. That's what I'm assuming. But it's not a really exciting match. I mean, British Bulldog does some cool British Bulldog stuff and does like a hold a guy up in a suplex for 10 seconds, which I love. And I do like how he got the win, which he like kind of like crawled over Lex and like pulled a guy into a sunset flip or whatever that thing's called.
Yeah, off the top or second rope or top rope, one of them. But yeah, man, they get the win and no one cares. And also the Blue Brothers look like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh yeah, dude. That they cloned that guy, I think. You might be right.
Nerds. And now that Nick Notaro's mic's not working, we do see Jen.
Nobody can like hear what is going on like between each other. So she's just like, oh, I'm hot. Like, but it really doesn't matter. And I like that she's like, there's just guys in this locker room that are just kind of like ogling her a little bit. Like she's just sort of a piece of meat over there, which I mean, it tracks.
Yeah, it's about as cringe as watching Crush, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
These big nasty dudes around this OJ. Look at Nikolai Volkov trying to fit in that tight ass Ted DiBiase shirt. It was like the Ted DiBiase suit with the lapel, but it was a shirt. Like, dude, you look gross. Go home.
Went to Ross and fucking got that shit. The $1 Million Crew or whatever it is, they're just it's not $1 million, Steve.
Comma, the fighting machine, comma, another pre-attitude situation. Man, I can't wait for you to be Godfather. But next match is Jeff Jarrett with the roadie versus Razor Ramon in the 1-2-3 Kid, little cousin Richie.
Dude, he has got the coolest leather gi that I've ever seen, Steve.
It's very Bruce Leroy.
It's Dragonfly Jones. That's his like Sunday best. Man. X-Pac 1-2-3 Kid though, Steve, he's too ugly of a man. Take his beard off and give him long hair. It's gross. Put a beard
China.
on it. Weird. But then I have memories of him backdoor in China.
She didn't think he was ugly.
No, she didn't. That was true love. So beautiful, baby.
Yeah.
It's not good. This match, Steve, we've seen this match a couple times recently. Jeff Jarrett versus Razor Ramon. This was a thing. I do like that Razor Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid eventually put the bad blood behind them because they went against each other for a while, and then now they're together. Unlikely tag team, I guess. I don't know.
The Clique, man. They always say Jeff Jarrett was like an unofficial member of the Clique, and that makes sense because he was paired up with Razor a lot, and eventually Road Dogg would be a part of that Clique, aka DX. So I'm sure all those guys were hanging around each other, probably taking road trips together in the same car. He becomes a big part of this match, and that's why 1-2-3 Kid's in it to play the equalizer, I guess. He even cost Jeff Jarrett the match, interfering with Razor's edge.
That's what he does, Steve. He's the roadie. He cleans up the mess. He can't have his boss losing like that. So, yeah, I like how skeevy he is. He's always just like kind of hiding in the shadows, as a good roadie does, Steve. You're not supposed to see the crew like that.
But Cousin Richie, he comes in and sets people straight, but they eventually get on him. And basically him and Razor are pounded to the ground.
Yeah, and Razor, he's always dealing with like a bum knee or something. So at one point, we're not sure if he can even get him up in a Razor's edge, which was a problem in the previous match that they show us. But, good, decent match for the guys. I love seeing Razor Ramon. We don't get a Razor's edge, which I hate. And we don't even get a win because it's just a DQ. But Jeff Jarrett gets to retain the title because there's no change of belts in a DQ situation. So he takes that very cool Intercontinental title strap back to the backstage with Road Dogg.
And he's gushing.
Yeah, what happened there? He just got blasted in the nose. He comes away with a broken nose or something, or I don't know, but it's Jeff Jarrett, Steve. He's going to be fine.
E-double-T. And up next is King Kong Bundy with Ted DiBiase versus Undertaker with Paul Bearer. And there's no build-up. That's one of the issues I had with this pay-per-view. Like, we're in the third match, and we already have the Taker match, the annual Taker WrestleMania match.
Why King Kong Bundy, Steve? I'm trying to remember back to this. Why did they bring this relic back to fight in WrestleMania? Why?
Well, this $1 million corporation is spread throughout this pay-per-view. Undertaker's one of the foes, one of the ops of Ted DiBiase's crew. So there's been that thing with the urn and IRS. He was trying to take the urn. He had a match with Taker around this time. And as we see in this, man, Kama will eventually take the urn and turn it into a chain.
Hell yeah. I love that. Nice, Vince. Nice.
Yeah.
What would a guy like you do? Again, that's crazy as fuck. Also, Steve, was there some kind of a promo for this match where Paul Bearer was dressed as a woman in a car? Did you see that?
I totally missed that.
I'll have to show it to you after the show, but I think there was a promo where Paul Bearer's in drag. He looks like Mimi, basically.
Oh God,
it's crazy. Yeah, I was watching this match and I hate fat matches where there's a fat guy who can't be knocked down, like a Yokozuna situation or an earthquake. But here we get King Kong Bundy, a guy who 70s, 80s wrestler that apparently was still doing this. I don't remember it. I mean, he doesn't look too old in this, but King Kong Bundy, Steve?
Dude was in the first WrestleMania. And the ref in this is Larry Young, who was a MLB ump at the time. Vince was just doing shit. I know this is around the time they had that strike, the MLB lockout. So I guess they try to tie that to WWF in some way. It's still stupid. Here's an umpire, but he's in the wrestling ring.
Isn't that cool? Who? It wasn't an exciting match. At one point, Taker just takes his urn back because the $1 Million Corporation has it right now. He takes it back. Paul Bearer opens it up. There's a light coming out of it. It looks pretty cool. And then Kama's just like, yoink, and just take it.
That easy.
It's no real supernatural abilities or ass kicking. He just pushes Paul Bearer over and just takes it like a piece of shit.
Yeah. And then as he goes back, he tells like, yeah, I'm going to make this shit a chain.
Bye. Is this the birth of Godfather, Steve? Does he transition to that like right after he makes the chain? Because it leads into it. Maybe that's the storyline.
It should be. This is not a memorable match of Taker, of his undefeated streak, because it ends very unceremoniously. Like, he basically body slams him, and then he gets a flying clothesline, which is like a secondary move, and that's what gets him the pin.
Yeah, I mean, no tombstone. The real Undertaker move we get is the walking on the top rope thing, which, I mean, love that. Just not a fan, Steve. Sorry. I mean, shout out to King Kong Bundy. I love it when you're chewing on turnbuckles, but
that's George the Animal Steel.
My bad. See, I don't even know. I don't even know King Kong.
They were both bald and gross. But now we go backstage and we get Steve Mongo McMichael, Reggie White, Carl Banks, Chris Spielman from the Ohio State, and Ken Norton Jr.
And surprisingly, really, none of these NFL guys should be on a mic, but they get their little time. Shout out to Reggie White, though, Steve. Shout out. I don't like the Eagles. I never did, but Reggie White's a beast. Rest in peace.
Definitely never liked the Packers, but yeah, man, got to give props where it's due. You were the minister of defense. Two of these guys, Reggie White and Steve Mongo, they're no longer with us, but I feel like Chris Spielman, he was ready for this. He seemed like a natural on the mic.
He was fine. I mean, dude, he looked like a goddamn wrestler. Spielman, I remember Spielman being bald and not like he as squatty as he looked in this, but dude, Spielman, shit, I would have hated to have seen him at a bar after this. That's for sure. That dude can bust some people's chops. Also, Steve, shout out to Chris Spielman because I know you love the Ohio State. And do you know that Chris Spielman's father is responsible for him not going to Michigan because he said if he would disown him.
Yeah, as he should.
And I agree. I mean, I'm with you. I don't like Michigan. I'm whatever with Ohio State. But shout out to Chris Spielman, dude. He's a Hall of Famer, I think.
No, he's not. But I mean,
collegiate Hall of Famer, Steve.
Maybe something like that. Yeah, we'll roll with that. They just wanted their presence to be known. So then we cut to another room where we see Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Mr. Simba himself, playing chess with Bob Backlund. It's a very odd setting.
In a dark room.
In a dark room.
Nick Turturro's not put off by it. I would have tried to call the police immediately, but this is what's wrong with America, Steve, and with the world. These kids. You know, at first he says these kids don't know shit, but Jonathan Taylor Thomas knows everything. He knows the capital of some place that I've never heard of. And then Bob Backlund's like, that's the problem.
That is
know-it-alls.
The know-it-alls. Huh. Okay, boomer.
Fuck Bob Backlund, Steve. I'm here to say it. I don't like it. I don't like the wrestler. Is Bob Backlund still with us?
He's still here running for office and losing. But yeah. Now, up next is Owen Hart. I guess at this point, we don't know who his tag team partner is supposed to be. So he comes out solo. He makes the announcement that his tag team partner is Yokozuna, who comes out with Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette versus the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart.
Looking very hockey players, Steve. These mullets that they got rocking in this.
Nasty.
They are vintage. Billy Gunn became Mr. Ass at one point, was in DX. And in this, he's just an all-American, like, we're going to go out there and get him. That's like his promo. It's like, that's not exciting. That's not good, Billy. But I actually, Steve, even though it involved Yokozuna, I thought this was a pretty decent match. I thought actually for the Smoking Guns, who I really had no expectation for, they pulled off some pretty cool like tag team maneuvers that I was very impressed with. So I'll give them that credit.
Yeah, I actually had that written in my notes, man. Like the whole get up, the cowboy thing, I think it's corny. You're wearing boots that model after cowboy boots. tight ass jeans. It's very Brokeback Mountain-ish, but I will say, man, some of those maneuvers I had never seen before, man. So, and they pull those off.
Even Yokozuna does his typical stuff, but he's great. And Owen's, a beast, man. That guy is such a good wrestler. So the Guns are the champs at this. Owen and Yokozuna finally finish them off because Yokozuna just straight sits on Billy Gunn. And when he does that bonsai drop, the noise Billy makes is hilarious. He's like, oh! He really sells it. So Owen and Yokozuna are the new tag champs, Steve. Yeah. Which I think we saw this in like another, like maybe a future pay-per-view that we've talked about where they were already the tag team champions. But yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised by this match, I would say.
Unfortunately, Yoko couldn't fit his belt. Why are y'all like zooming in on Owen, knowing damn well his tag team partner can't fit his? Like,
he's like, yeah. I like that Yoko, like Owen's walking around doing stuff. Yokozuna after a match is just leaning against the rope, just trying to get his breath back. Just
gas.
Yeah, gassed like a motherfucker. But 500 pounds, dude, can't be easy.
Up next is the I Quit match, and it's supposed to be Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund. So there's a special guest referee. The Fink announces Roddy Piper, the hot rod himself. Oh, yeah, what do you say? I quit. Oh.
Yeah, I love this concept for a match, which this has to be the only time this happens, Steve, because it is so fucking stupid. What's the point of a ref at this? You know, it's the same thing.
He holds the mic, I guess.
You just got to hold the mic, which I do like. At one point, Rowdy just gets kind of weird with it. And he's like, Bret's putting a submission on. And he asked Bob Backlund if he's going to quit. It's a no. And then he's like, what about you? And he just like holds it up to Bret. Bret's like, no. Like
That's
breaks
stupid.
a little bit.
And Bob Backlund has no entrance music. I guess that's apropos because he's bland.
The JTT thing kind of was like weird. But that, you know, it is what it is. Is he the psycho guy? Like, because I remember that being kind of his shtick was that he was Bob Backlund, but he had like a screw loose. And here he's just kind of just, I guess, creepy, but not crazy.
He basically turns into a modern boomer. Like when he was first brought back, he was supposed to be a good guy, a shot of nostalgia. Vince thought like, oh, this golden star from back in the day, the fans can't wait. But the fans weren't receiving him. It was the 90s, man. Like, we don't care about this 1975 ass wrestler, Greco-Roman ass shit. So over time, he like, I guess they flipped it where he's like, oh, you don't respect me. You don't acknowledge, well, screw you. And that's kind of what made him a heel, because he was like pissed that he wasn't getting that same love.
You look like Ferguson, dude. Like, there's nothing appealing. He has no mic skills. And when he's wrestling, the cross-face chicken wing or whatever his wrestling move is, it's stupid enough. But when he's like approaching you to do it, he has to like, he's like Godzilla or something. There's nothing good about it. So it's funny that, and maybe it's good writing that they brought him back with the assumption like, oh, it is a nostalgia thing. That's cool. And when he was getting shit on, they're like, all right, we're going to turn this around. You're going to act like you're pissed about this. Like they don't like you, dude.
Yeah, it works better this way. There's a point where they're like rolling around on the mat, giving reverse figure fours. Like, no, I'm going to give you a figure four. No, I'm going to give you a figure four. That's when Roddy's just going haywire with that damn microphone. Backlund, he eventually gets Bret in the crossface, but Bret reverses it and puts him in the crossface.
And he won't let it go, Steve. He gets him like standing up in it, and then he just brings him down to the canvas like a true assassin. And I think Backlund just blacks out. He won't give up, Steve.
It's weird. Like Piper just ended it. I don't think he was out. He just kept making sounds. Like the whole point was to say, I quit. I didn't hear that man say, I quit.
Like, I got to go do a blast, dude. This is taking way too long.
It's the Hartford screw job. Yeah, it's Backlund, so nobody cares. And like one of the through lines of this pay-per-view is no one can find Pam Anderson. She's supposed to escort Shawn Michaels out, but like she's MIA. What?
Where'd she go? King's like, how do you lose Pam Anderson? I got to agree. How do you lose Pam Anderson? I'd be all over that all night. But yeah, she's disappeared, Steve. Some say she left because Shawn did something untowards, possibly.
Mm.
Hmm.
So here's the match. HBK versus Diesel, and they announced the celebrities in this pay-per-view. JTT comes out, he's the guest timekeeper, and then they bring out Nick Turturro, who's the guest ring announcer. Doesn't do a great job, man, but hey, shout out to the Turturro brothers. He announces HBK, and he comes out with his bodyguard, Sid, along with Jenny McCarthy and them puppies versus Diesel, and Diesel comes out, and then he calls to the back, and here's Pam Anderson. Vern, Vern.
And they're looking fabulous, Steve. That's all I can say. This is my dream come true. If I could have been in between them sitting ringside, that's my make a wish as a young child, Steve. It's everything. They look fantastic.
Yeah.
JTT was just over there like,
Yeah. Just just basking in the moment, man. He even brings her into the ring before the match even started. Like, hey, everybody, get a real good look at this.
They do that a couple of times where it's like, hey guys, we're just bringing you here because of you get it, like,
hard-ons,
I would love to know what was being said to them when they were sitting by the ring because they're right by the crowd. Like, there's some guys that are like, Jenny, please touch it.
Got some nice titties, dog. Shawn is
Go,
salty.
Yeah, I mean, and rightfully so, Steve, because I feel like in the '90s it was 1 and 2, Jenny McCarthy, Pam Anderson, but I think the consensus is Pam Anderson's the top get in this duo. It's an equal get for me. I was a huge Jenny McCarthy fan. She is gorgeous. Just a lunatic now, but Diesel won, Steve.
And you know what? I take that back. This might actually be the match of the pay-per-view.
Oddly enough, though, Kevin Nash doesn't like this match, man. I saw him talking on that Click This show he has. He said that, Shawn didn't want to take any bumps, which you can kind of see with the jackknife that
sloppy.
He falls on his butt basically, and that's it. So Kevin Nash doesn't have a lot to say. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of a fun match. It's a big guy versus a little guy, and obviously Shawn Michaels is the ultimate, so he does his job.
Just didn't take that jackknife the best, man.
Yeah, but he still did all the stuff like the hitting the turnbuckle and flipping over it, cross body off of the top into the crowd or under the floor and stuff. So I didn't really see all him not wanting to take bumps, but I mean, this is a classic duo right here in wrestling. It's great to see them actually wrestle each other.
Off of that broken jackknife, man, Diesel gets the pin, the win, and the belt, and the honeys. Like, Jenny McCarthy just lit Shawn Michaels and Sid. It's like, yeah, that big Jerry curl motherfucker, he was scaring me anyway. So, yeah, the honeys both coming to the ring with Diesel. He was already the big man. He's the big man of Hartford.
Every man's dream at this moment in time in the world, Kevin Nash, take JTT and Nick Turturro out of it, but that's fantastic, dude. And then there's a guy who has to help Jenny McCarthy get out of the ring after this that just gets a face full of titties, Steve. He just grabs her to take her down, and he just gets a full I mean, it's the experience that we all wanted. So salute to whoever that guy was.
And the cameraman. You knew what you were doing.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of guys who are right there when they're getting into the ring. Look at that ass, man.
Look at the titties. And up next is this main event, man. They introduce the people. It's kind of a lumberjack match in a way because you got people on the good guy side and you got people on the heel side. And they introduce this weak-ass $1 million corporation. This just shows you how subpar this roster was. So they roll out King Kong Bundy as if he didn't already have a match. Tonka, Nikolai Volkov from the 1980s bullshit.
From the depths,
dude. They dug deep. IRS and then Ted DiBiase. So they all come out, and then out comes the football players: Ken Norton Jr., Chris Spielman, Ricky Jackson, Carl Banks, Steve McMichael, and Reggie White.
God, Steve Mongo McMichael, man, just keeps winning, even though he is a dog shit wrestler, Steve. They even let him bitch out one of the wrestlers in the ring when they get in. And here's the funny thing that I think at the end of this, they were like, we got to wrap this up. They make the $1 Million Corporation, who's two of the three or three of the 4 or 5 guys are old men, and they make them run out to the ring. Like why are you doing this?
Man,
Ted DiBiase has a freaking tux on, and he's got to run to the ring. I don't understand that, other than they're like, we got to get out of here.
man.
We got to get out of here.
Did you make sure they took their heart medicine before they went out here, man?
Straight. But they get bitched out by actual, like, all-pro athletes. I mean, dude, like I said, Chris Spielman is jacked in this. He was ready to go. And also, just another fun fact for him, do you know that Chris Spielman was the first high school athlete to ever be featured on a Wheaties box?
I did not know that.
There you go. There's another Ohio first thing. Shout out to Chris Spielman. He's in our Hall of Fame, Steve. Fuck the NFL Hall of Fame. Fuck that gold jacket.
That's why T.O. didn't show up, you cocksuckers. Bam Bam comes out. He basically jumps at Salt and Pepper, which I don't appreciate.
Hell no.
Yeah, Salt was with the shit, though. She was ready.
Yeah, they had to hold her back. And like, shame on you, Bam. I think he was just trying to get like a little. He's a sick bastard, that Bam Bam. But I think you're about to reference LT's gear, Steve.
Oh yeah, I want one.
I do too. It was great. It was the WWF logo. It was all '90s colors. It was the color of those cups with the little squiggle. It was that.
Squiggle. Yep.
So. Yeah, shout out to whoever was doing the gear for LT. I like the warm-up gear. Now, the LT half shirt that he's rocking in the match, I'm not into that. I'm not into the Ezekiel Elliott special that he's rocking. I'm not into it.
Who's the little Robert Shapiro, Little Joe motherfucker that came out with him? Is that, I'm guessing, his manager or agent?
You're a bum, LT. It's that guy. He has to have a trainer. Somebody had to teach him how to kind of punch and fall a little bit whenever he does everything in this match. Was LT high, Steve? What do you think? What are the chances?
Man, that pipe was not too far behind. But maybe that guy was just there to remind him, I get 10%. I get 10%. Don't forget, I get 10%. Right after this match.
I made this happen. I pulled you out of that crack house, LT. Okay?
I'm wearing the same suit as you, so you don't forget. For some reason, like, this is such a random pay-per-view. Pat Patterson is the ref. Earl Ebner wasn't available. Did he get the flu? Pneumonia?
Also, he takes like 8 minutes to explain the rules of the match, which I think everybody knows. I know LT ain't a damn wrestler, but he's sitting there like, well, this and this and this and that. It's like, okay, dude. Do you forget what they are? Are you that old?
Maybe he was telling LT he wants to fuck him.
Listen, man. I got 20.
How big is it? But man, I will say Lawrence Taylor is, for a non-wrestler, he's pulling this off, man. He's making it seem like somewhat of a legit match, a wrestling match, man. For somebody with no prior experience, his moveset is limited. Gets some clotheslines, a lot of jabs, a lot of brawling. He did a couple bulldogs, which I appreciate. I like a good bulldog. Grab him from the back of the head and just like, yeah.
Yeah, and he takes some good bumps too. You know, he's not like underselling or like being like stiff, whatever you want to use the terminology, but
yeah,
it is what it is, man. I think he does one suplex or like
a back suplex, yeah,
something. But you know, like you said, the moveset's limited at best, and I mean his finishing move is getting on the second turnbuckle and throwing a forearm. So I mean that's basically Lex Luger's super move too. Before this, whatever that is,
no, the torture rack. But LT, those shots, they look legit. I don't know if it's the way Bam Bam sold them or if those are like straight shots, because it looks like he's clocking them.
That's how tough a wrestler is, because like Bam Bam had to get into a ring with a guy like LT who's not just some celebrity. This guy's like a killer. Like he's a trained killer. He's one big ball of muscle that did a lot of damage to humans.
That's Joe
So
Theismann.
yeah, exactly. So I wonder how much training he had or like to pull punches and stuff. But there's a couple times where it looks like Bam Bam took a couple of straight legit shots from Lawrence Taylor, who's not too far away from his prime, Steve. I mean, these are some heavy shots. So Bam Bam, I guess it was just like he got the main event, man. It's like that's part of it. You got to take some of this because this guy does not know what he's doing.
Well, and plus, he's already missing teeth, so he's probably like, man, I could take some punches. So, dude, I don't think this man fully got his propers, and they're just now inducting him into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. But Vince, he didn't look at this match as like, well, damn, he was able to make this work with Lawrence Taylor, a football player. Man, I should keep pushing this guy. He held it down, even though this was a weak card. He held it down for a main event.
And he's the only guy in there with like the experience. I mean, the other guys are like old men on the outside of the ring, but I mean, we're wrestling fans, but I was like to the casual person watching this, like it's good. And it's like I said, it's not a Jay Leno match where it's like some old man looking stiff as fuck. Like Bam Bam made it work, and LT's an athlete. So as long as he sold like the damage he was taking, it wasn't a complete loss. And that is kind of weird. Like you didn't get the credit for that. Cause I mean, put Hulk Hogan or somebody in the match like this, and it would have been way worse. Like Bam Bam was out there like, you know, taking the shots. Maybe that's why he did it. Like he got it. But yeah, that's crazy. And that is crazy. Hasn't been in the Hall of Fame for a long. I mean, this guy's a legend, dude. 2 different Federation legend.
Straight up, man. LT, he does those shots to the face, some stiff forearms to the face, and then he goes to the second rope and does like a flying forearm to the face, and that's what gets him the pin. Now, DiBiase, he's ashamed of Bam Bam. He's chewing him out all the way to the back. This would lead to Bam Bam just leaving the corporation, and he becomes a face for a short stint before he just leaves the company, goes to ECW, and then recreates himself, reinvents himself.
He had to find himself, Steve, after
He
this.
did.
That's crazy. But I mean, weak card overall. There were some bright, shining moments, some funny moments. And at the end of the day, Steve, we get Pam Anderson and Jenny McCarthy in one building, even if it's in Hartford. I mean, shit, that's fine because it's great and I enjoyed it. Also, just shout out to Kevin Nash, man.
One of the coolest.
Badass.
On that same day in 95, the 14th NCAA Women's Basketball Championship is held. The Connecticut Huskies defeat the Tennessee Volunteers 70-64. It's the Huskies' first NCAA title, completing the first undefeated season since the 1986 Texas Longhorns. This is major because this is the first for Gino Auriemma. And you could say he is like the Pat Riley or Phil Jackson of college women's basketball. And the fact that he beat the Tennessee Volunteers, coached by Pat Summitt, who's also considered one of the GOATs of just coaching. And they would also have a lifelong beef, apparently.
It was these 2 teams.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you could gamble on women's basketball back then because you could definitely like figure out who was going to be in the finals. And it usually was UConn. Like that's the one that I remember from like the NCAA like female stuff in the 90s was, I mean, did they win like back to back to back? Was it ever like that?
Not in the 90s, no, because like I said, Gino Auriemma, he's fresh into the system. So all of this success is because of him. Like they weren't this juggernaut of a team before him. And Pat Summitt, it's kind of like they kind of shared. It was like back and forth. Like Tennessee would win some, UConn would win some. Both outstanding coaches, man. Rebecca Lobo, she was the one that I remember for this team. She was like the breakout star who ended up playing for the New York Liberty. Looking at her now, it's like she kind of looks like Paul White.
I would have to see it. Well, Gino, he might have had a beef with Pat Summitt, but I'm sorry, Pat Summitt can rock the shit out of a suit. Gino just looks like he's a used car salesman in that picture behind you, Steve.
Yeah, some of the best coaches are. But
Truly. UConn is like they're still a juggernaut, like you
still,
said. So that's crazy.
in that following year, 1996, Maxwell would release Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite. Man,
How many babies were made to this, Steve? Till the cops come? Till
till
the
the cops come knocking.
I mean, it's good. I was not a huge Maxwell fan, but I mean, I love this album. I was listening to it in the car with my wife and feeling some kind of ways, Steve. But I mean, it's jazzy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like themes. It's like some stuff that just doesn't even have that much like lyrics to it, but it's all just fuck music.
It's got some saxophone. Shouldn't I realize you're the highest of the high? When you go, what did I see? Let's do that in Adam Sandler voice. What did I see? So don't ever. Yeah, man.
April 2nd was great for some cocksmith singers. Steve Maxwell in the later 90s, Lenny in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Two different styles of music, but two people that are getting laid probably still to this day. Maxwell, God bless.
Yeah, this episode is dedicated to the pretty light skinned motherfuckers. And just like Lenny Kravitz, Maxwell, he does not age, man. He's still out here killing the scene, doing this thing.
It's the PJ, Steve. It keeps you young.
Yeah.
You're swimming in it.
Does wonders for the beard, apparently. But shout out to Maxwell, man. That following year, 1997, Smart Guy debuts on the WB with the aptly titled Pilot. TJ Henderson, an intellectual prodigy, starts high school 4 years early.
This is a great pilot, Steve. I got to give it to him for what this is. Really good. I'm ashamed to say that I found out today. I was today years old, Steve, when I found out that Omar Gooding and Cuba Gooding are brothers. And maybe somebody told him. Maybe you told me that.
I know I did.
Well, it didn't land. And then I looked it up again today because I was arguing with Kendra about it. Son of a bitch, Steve.
Their dad is a singer. Everybody plays a fool sometimes.
Really? That's okay.
No exception. Yeah.
I don't know who's better. Who's my favorite, Steve, Cuba or Omar? But
Omar for sure.
Okay. Wow. Oh wow. But I wasn't a huge fan of Smart Guy. This show that we're doing is kind of how I've been exposed to it. But as far as a pilot goes, man, they did their job really well. This is really good.
And the house and the school sets are the same ones in Boy Meets World.
Recycle, Steve.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it. I was trying to I don't know. Nothing really stood out to me that I was like, oh, damn. Like, I feel like I would see that. But TJ's on his way to high school, dude. He's 10 years old. That's pretty fucking nuts.
How many times you think you get your ass beat if you went to high school at 10 years old? I know I would have got teased for these ears. I was getting teased by the peers my same age. So, like, that would have been hell for me.
I mean, it's scary. I was a 10-year-old. Like, I was scared of going into high school as a normal age kid. So this is his first day. He doesn't seem to be too bothered about it, but we kind of see the family getting ready for school. Marcus, the older brother, he's trying to get out because he wants to hang out with this hottie, Steve.
He's supposed to walk TJ to school. His dad, Floyd, he asked, like, man, so, like, didn't you say you take your brother with you? He's like, oh, no, I asked him. He's good. Don't even worry about it. Yeah.
And then Tasha, who is another, I'm sure, 90s crush that you had, Steve. She's gorgeous. She's coming to the kitchen with, like, just a giant, almost like a suitcase, Steve. And the dad's like, what the hell is this? You got all these books on the first day? And she's like, no, these are shoes. So that's nuts.
And then TJ, Mr. Smart Guy, he comes down. Everybody's gone. They left their lunch bags. So Floyd's like, you want all of these?
Yeah. Here's all three. And I mean, even being 10, TJ's like, do you think I want to show up to school with my dad? Would you want to do that? So let's get smart. Obviously, he's a smart guy. Then we cut to school, and he gets to school. He meets this like full-grown woman, Steve. It's a high school chick, this white chick. They're both new. And she's like, what are you? You seem to have a reaction to this lady, Steve.
Jennifer Lyons. I came across a new crush because I looked her up and damn.
Okay.
Damn. Jennifer Lyons. You're welcome, everybody.
I'll have to look that up after this. I didn't even clock that. But TJ, he's not even phased by this white chick. He's like, see you at prom. See ya.
Yeah, I noticed there's no theme song. The theme song doesn't kick in until the second episode.
Well, they just kind of like use the music as a transition, but it just starts,
Pretty
So,
much.
yeah, but then TJ is in school. He's trying to find his locker. And Omar Gooding, who looks like a goddamn full grown man compared to this and his crew, TJ's like, hey. And he's like hitting him on the back. And Omar Gooding like turns around. He doesn't even see him, Steve. He ain't up to here, So he just turns back and finally gets his attention again. Omar's like, what are you? What's his name in the show? Mo?
Mo, yeah. Do you have a glandular problem? Do you? So he finds his locker and he realizes that his locker is too high. He's too short for his locker. And then Dirk Nowitzki, he comes up next to him. His locker is too low. So TJ, being the smart guy, he's like, hey, man, you want to trade lockers? Everything works.
You want me to save you a lifetime of back issues? Smart kid, Steve. He's going places, obviously. Then we cut into class, and this has got to be an issue. I don't know why you would agree to do this as the dad, but TJ is in the same class as his older brother Marcus, Steve.
Yeah,
How fun.
It's pretty demoralizing. And because Marcus is trying to run that game, he's talking to Mariah, aka Telly. You'll always be Telly in my book. And even in Salute Your Shorts, when I was watching this as a kid, I was like, man, I know that's a fine ass girl underneath that damn tomboy get up. Just like Al with Step by Step.
Wait, that's Telly from Salute? I didn't even clock that.
That's Telly.
Man, okay.
Venus de Milo.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So Marcus is throwing down some moves, but TJ shows up, just takes his seat. And Marcus is like, hey, man, you can't sit here, dude. Why don't you sit over there? And he's like, why? And he's like, it would be kind of crazy if dad had to lose a child. He's like, threatens the kid, Steve. Marcus gets him to like move, but even the chick's like, what are you so mean to that little kid for? And she offers to have him come sit next to her because he's so cute.
He's adorable. He's a smart guy. And when the teacher comes in, it's that persnickety guy. He's always persnickety in every role, but he's the teacher in this. And every question he asks, TJ just has his hand up. He has everything. What's the square root of pi? I got it. If a train was leaving Pittsburgh and then another one's leaving, say, look, yep, I got it.
All that flexing in class, TJ gets a little study buddy, Steve. Little honey. Venus de Milo. So he's the kid we hated. I personally, I don't like people that are just,
Yeah.
Come on, TJ. You got to at least have a little bit of fun in school, but he's the smart guy, Steve. But just like everybody in health class, we cut to health class, Steve, and he might have all the answers in history or whatever. But in health class, when the teacher's saying booby and penis, just like anybody at 10, you're like,
Ding-a-ling.
So he gets sent to the principal's office day one, Steve, because he can't stop laughing when he hears breast. Okay, and I can't either. I just started laughing.
Yeah, he's sitting next to lifelong character actor Phil Buckman, who I always thought looked like Anthony Kiedis. But
oh my God, yeah, hell yeah, he does.
And he's there, which this is not a real thing. He is in the principal's office for getting his nipple pierced. Like, why do y'all care? That's his business.
How'd you know? Did he show? Hey, little bro. He's that guy, bro.
Always and everything.
Little bro. Finally, the dad shows up. And is this the principal, Steve? Because maybe is she a guidance counselor or principal?
Guidance counselor.
That.
Yeah.
She's hot. And
She's
like doing some kind of thing on her leg. She shows up. She's like, oh, excuse me. I love that when she explains why TJ's in the principal's office and explains the breast thing, the dad's like, it just never stops, man. Guys are guys, bro.
I'm just laughing at the idea of him laughing. And
Uh,
then TJ leaves, and Floyd, he's just like, you know what? Maybe I should just pull him out of high school altogether. But Miss Williams, she says, like, we can't do that because he was bored in fourth grade. He was acing everything. He knew more than the fourth grade teacher. I just want to do right by him. I'm a single dad, and I just want the best for my kids. So Miss Williams consoles me like, it's going to be all right. I think he'll fit in this environment. He'll make it work. He's that smart. He's a smart guy.
this is where he needs to be, Floyd. Also, there's something going on there too, Steve.
Yeah,
They're setting that up a little. I'm sensing a little magical connection.
you want to walk with me to the game and talk about TJ?
Yeah. Ooh, oh, you are a good father. Oh, good. Gush, gush.
So the mother's dead? Okay.
Okay. What's your number? I'll find it in the file. No matter. But then we cut to home. TJ's got homework, Steve. And his buddy, who's still back in the fourth grade, like an idiot,
Picking boogers.
he wants to play some b-ball. But TJ's like, man, I got homework, dude. I got bills to pay. I'm an adult now. And the dad's like, it's cool. Like, he'll be out in a second. So TJ's kind of like, he's obviously very respectable and whatnot. Marcus, though, he's like, I don't even got any homework, Dad. And the dad's like, if he's got homework, you got homework because you're in the same class. So that also sucks as the older brother. There's no lying about the homework sitch. You
Right.
got a do-gooder brother who's doing it all also, which that also has to suck. So I'm on Marcus's team, Steve.
It's clutch that your brother's the smart guy because I'd be doing a lot of copy and paste, which he does.
Whoop his ass. You're like, hold on one sec.
And he does that, but Marcus is not the smart guy. You got to do a little ad lib. You got to do some detouring of the words. You can't do it verbatim because your dad's going to catch you, and he did catch him. Do this shit again.
Also, TJ's like, just to really just kick you in the nuts, I got a study day with that hottie later. Marcus is like, Dad, do something. So Marcus is like, dude, he's in like 3 of my classes. He's showing me up everywhere. This sucks. The dad's like, he's not like overshadowing you and everything. You can ball, dude. Get on that court and just Kobe your way out of this shit.
Dude, that's right, man. We don't care about brains on the basketball court. I'm the man. And then we cut to the basketball practice, and the coach tells him, congratulations, Marcus. Your brother made the team. What, man? What? Hold up. He can't even throw socks into the laundry basket. How are you going to make the foot? Oh, and then he comes out as a penguin.
He's Pugnacious Pete, Steve. The powerful Piedmont penguin. It's a mouthful. Say that 3 times fast. But, I mean, it's like, no, he can't get away from this kid, Steve. Marcus is like, I just want one thing. He's trying to mac on the hottie who's a cheerleader, except from the white chick who's kind of antagonizing him a little bit. She didn't like that. You know, she doesn't like the whole smart guy thing.
All he had to do was come out in this penguin suit, and all the honeys flocked to him. And Marcus is hating this, as he should. My little brother was out rizzing me.
Yeah, that's gotta suck, dude. I mean, as somebody who's low on Riz as it is, Steve, that would just be heartbreaking. And I mean, he's even like going to the nerdy links of being like, I sound like a penguin. He's making Toby noises, Steve.
And
he's getting the buzz.
Back home, he's just like, man, this isn't fair. Only thing I had was basketball, and I don't even have that. Little brother's everywhere.
He's a freak. He's a genius. That would be crazy, though, to have a savant brother who's younger than you, who's just you're never going to be better than, you're older than. That's a mind fuck, Steve. That's a problem for an older brother.
Now we're back at the basketball court. Marcus, he offers to drive Mariah home. And then Mo comes along. He offers to drive her home. And she's like, well, I'm going to let you guys talk about it. And she just flips off. I don't even think that was a stunt double, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Man, we didn't see a face when she was. She's like, I got to do some tumbles.
I feel like those are funny too.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's like the fake body being thrown against the wall type shit. Mo's like, this is my chick. stay away. So now they get in like a little scuffle. TJ gets on Mo, tries to give him like a little Bob Backlund action. But at the end of the day, they all go to the principal's office again. And luckily, TJ's pretty well affiliated here, and he even sees that guy. Hey, little bro, you're hearing more than I am, dude.
I got my other nipple pierced. Floyd comes in there and he's heated. It's like, man, it's bad enough I had one son in the principal's office. Now I got two. Damn. Yvette would be here too if there wasn't a sale at the mall. So when TJ talks to Marcus, like, man, I was just trying to help. You know what? You can help by disappearing.
And I don't know if it happened this time or the previous time, but when he sees those like punk dudes, he looks at TJ. He's like, "You're not affiliated with those guys." He's like, "You're not friends with these gentlemen, are you?" So yeah, Marcus, he does the thing you should never do in family. He's like, "Just go away.
Yeah.
I hate you."
And now they're at the game, and Yvette tells her dad that TJ's under the bleachers. So Floyd looks under the bleachers. He's like, "You look like you're hatching an egg." I'm not.
Everybody thinks I'm a joke. Well, you're 10 years old in high school, man. Like, it's weird. But TJ took what Marcus said personally, Steve. He's Michael Jordan in this situation. He says that I don't belong here, and maybe he's right.
You know, TJ, we're all misfits. It's just that your freak is more obvious.
This is a good TV dad, Steve. Mr. Henderson, this dude's up there. And then Marcus shows up. He's like, "Dad, can I have a second?" He apologizes, and he's like, "I just kind of have to get used to this, man. I never pictured you being in my class. Why would I? I'm a fucking grown man compared to you." But he squashes the beef. And he's like, "Man, we need the penguin, man. We got to get to this."
We got to rub your head.
And he even says, like, "You did good." You know, he's like our big brother in this. So now we cut to the end of the game. The game's on the line, Steve. The Penguins, they're down a bucket or whatever. The coach is like, "Come on, settle in here, guys. We're getting cooked by number whatever, 35, I think
35.
it was." And he's like, "We got to do this." TJ, being the genius he is, he's like, "Look, guys, I got it. This guy does this. He doubles it. He crosses over. When he goes left, he goes right. All you got to do is stop him here." He gives him the full genius rundown of how to stop this. And the coach at first is like, "Man, get out of here." And Marcus, of all people, is like, "Man, coach, this kid's a genius with this shit." And he is, Steve. This kid could be Phil Jackson. Much smaller. He's not going to grow up too much after this, but it works, Steve. Marcus, he's the hero. He saves the game.
On that little ass hoop. That looked like a Nerf hoop. That was far from regulation.
Yeah, he jumped like I do, and he almost got the rim on that layup, but
I don't think he jumped.
No, maybe. And then they pulled my ass. But he had the recipe, Steve. So it looks like this whole Marcus TJ thing in high school, it's going to work out.
That following year, though, in 1998, we would lose American-German singer and songwriter Rob Pilatus at the age of 32 or 33. He was part of the Milli Vanilli duo.
Oh. Which one was he, Steve? Milli or Vanilli? That's a crazy thing that we got to talk about at some point, like in depth on this show. The Milli Vanilli thing is it's a weird story that I would like to go back to. But shout out, man. Rest in peace to Milli or Vanilli. I'm sorry, I don't know which one you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if it was supposed to be one or the other. But yeah, man, this was the first episode of Behind the Music, Milli Vanilli. And I think he had already died. They aired this episode and he was already gone because from what I remember, they gave a dedication or in memory of Rob Pilatus. He was found dead from an alcohol and prescription drug overdose in a hotel room in Friedrichsdorf near Frankfurt. his death was ruled accidental.
That's nuts. That's a weird story. That's a crazy, like weird. I don't know. That's a bizarre, kind of tragic story. Honestly, it kind of got to the top, but just because you were lip syncing. And I'm sure there's a lot of artists that probably do that too, and they don't get that kind of smoke. But that's crazy.
What are the callbacks for this week?
My callback is just to Hollywood, Steve. I want Hollywood to be making these movies like Cop and a Half again, Blank Check. Movies where kids are getting over on adults. Also House Arrest, stuff like that. We're not getting these. Kids aren't getting these. Kids are stupid now. And I feel like it's half because of this shit. They're getting nerfed. We watched Elijah Wood get shot in the back. And a guy almost hung to death in a Disney movie of all things.
Disney movie.
So I just love watching these kind of movies. That's why we have this show, because when we're talking about the ridiculousness of some of these things, Cop and a Half, watch it. It's one of the funniest, weirdest, stupidest movies ever made, and it's great. And it's all 90s. And there's a fun, stupid level of good movies that we had as kids that put kids in adult situations that we just, I don't know, I don't see them being made. And when I see these kind of movies again, it just makes me very nostalgic. That's why we have this show. And I just think there's a reason for that, because it's so much fun. It's so stupid and dangerous, but for whatever reason, Hollywood's like, can't do this anymore. Can't put a little cute black kid in a car with Burt Reynolds getting cigar smoke blown in his face. It just doesn't happen. So I miss it, man. That's why I'm glad we have this show. But yeah, man, watch movies like that. Go back and watch the Blank Checks.
So I just have two things. In 1992, Beverly Hills 90210 is airing Meeting Mr. Pony. And Brenda, she gets held at gunpoint. And after that, she gets traumatized. She's traumatized. She's having visions. She's having nightmares, waking up in cold sweats. And this is the same season where Brian Austin Green's friend shot himself. So they were living wild in this season of 90210. And in 1996, Home Improvement is airing The Longest Day. And this is the episode where Randy is diagnosed with some kind of illness. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, man, this was the highest rated episode of the sitcom. But yeah,
it wasn't
man,
tumors, Steve. It was just a goiter, so it's okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He thought he had like cancer because he had like a lump in his. But it was and then Tim Allen's like, my son, the goiter. That's why for whatever reason that always stuck out to me. But
man, very, I don't know, special episode-ish. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister if it's cool, we can do a little something, something. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crush Gasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
It happened in the 90s.